Okay guys, this is Tanner Gray, also known as Topsail Tanner. We are continuing to discuss our 7 things that we like and dislike about each township. We are standing in Topsail Beach, which is the most southern end of Topsail Island. First and foremost for me, I love the way that Topsail Beach has done their beach nourishment. As you can see behind me, the entire stretch is absolutely covered in dune grass, and it extends the property lines and the building envelope. They also established, this is an engineered beach as well. So this is something like what North Topsail Beach could look like if they did it the correct way, just like Topsail Beach has. I love that about this. A very big drawback for me about Topsail Beach is that a lot of properties, almost every single one besides 2 neighborhoods, are on septic systems. Now that's very limiting when it comes to the amount of bedrooms that you can have and occupants you can have. You can only have 2 occupants per bedroom per the health department, whatever the permit is on the septic tank. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's a big drawback for me. Giant plus for me, the water that you get on the sound is clear, particularly the closer you get to the inlet, because the tide in and out is coming from the ocean. So it's a lot more clear. So if you're gonna spend those days where you wanna get in the water, feel more tropical, the south end's definitely where to go ahead and hit it. One drawback for me is, or dislike, is that parts of the south end flood on normal tides. And what I mean by that is neap or king tides. Particularly, I believe, parts of Carolina Boulevard, where water comes up over the bulkheads and just is there, and it floods on a regular basis, not during a storm, not during heavy rains. That's a big drawback for me, particularly with everything on septic. A big plus for me is I feel like they have a very good balance of things to do and commercial without being too crowded. I think there's a lot of opportunity that people won't travel the 7-8 miles to go when they have Surf City right in the center. So I think that's a big plus for them. Plus, there's new things coming, like obviously you've seen the video about scoops, but you know, there's some great things and some good history on the south end as well. A drawback for me is that a lot of people consider the south end of the island to be the best part of the island, and I don't particularly understand that, because for me it's the longest part to get to anywhere else. If I wanted to go to Wilmington, that's a drawback for me. Another big positive for me, right now, there's only one place that you have to go where you have to pay for parking, and that's the very south end of the island. And we discussed that in parking in another video. A drawback for me is, I know this is gonna be kind of condescending, but it's the walk to the beach itself. You know, sometimes you're walking hundreds of yards at some points. I mean, there's places at the end where it's 100 yards to get to the actual ocean. Now, this is a funny thing, because this happened in New Jersey as well, where they didn't have enough sand. They put in jetties, and then they got all the sand, and then they complained about it. But anyway, a very good positive for me is that it has a lot of boating activity life. And what I mean by that is a lot of locals will put in their boats here and head to the south end because of that. There's a certain sandbar, I believe, that's right behind Topsail Marina. It used to be Bush's Marina. It's by Lewis Seafood as well. It's kind of just sticks out there, and people go there. They're starting to go there more than Lee Island. Lee Island is a very good place to go. It's fun, it's got clean water, but it's getting so crowded because it's so popular now. It used to be where there'd be 20 boats, 30 boats on a weekend, and now there's hundreds. And you know, it can get pretty obnoxious there. So, you know, it's a benefit on the one side, but it's also a drawback. So that's gonna go to both categories. A big plus for me on Topsail Island is they have probably the best restaurant in the area with the Beach Shop Grill. So that's a big plus for me. A drawback is they don't really have tons of parking. They've got some, but they don't have a lot. Again, kind of a mixture, because you know, if you're planning to spend the day down here, it's really nice, but if you don't come early, I don't know if people run out of parking places here, but you know, it's one of the things that, you know, for me, I would see that as a drawback. I just don't know if there's enough parking for everybody. One big positive for me as well is there's endless sand that you can just go down to the south end and walk and have your own private beach. Another dislike for me is that they're not really developing Topsail Beach as they are in Surf City. And I don't mean development as in commercializing it. What I mean is not really much for parks or growth that way. Infrastructure to accommodate the people that are coming down here, the vacationers, and even the locals that live here. Surf City's doing such a good job of doing these giant parks and having these soccer fields and all types of indoor things, and nothing's really happening down here that much. Another positive for me is that they have some really classic stuff, which I do like classic stuff. So the roller skating rink, which is classic, the miniature golf course is still there. They still got some great history that stays down there, which I do like about Topsail Beach. Every town and municipality has their pluses and minuses. You guys can make up your own decision on what you like about each. I'm just trying to be as informative as I can for you. If you have any questions about any of the towns, just go ahead and put them in the details below. I'll go ahead and answer them for you. Again, guys, this is Tanner Gray, also known as Topsail Tanner, and I'll see you on the next one.